All right, this is the past.
It feels like the past.
Back in the day, you might say.
Which day?
I'm talking back when we first met.
Oh, dang.
Well, not quite that far. I just want to give a little bit background that we met back in 7th grade.
Okay.
And started hanging out.
Well, technically we met in 5th grade.
Okay, we met in 5th grade
But
when
we
I
were
stole
like-
your girlfriend, but...
Yeah. Well, she didn't agree to be my girlfriend yet. She left me hanging. So
Yeah, it was
I
one of
asked
those,
her
like-
she would be my girlfriend. She's like, let me think about it. And then Jon Stamm moved into town. And then she's like, new guy, I'll date him. Did somebody ask me something?
Stole your girlfriend. I think
don't
that's
know.
the definition of stealing your girlfriend. Yeah.
But she never actually
She
agreed.
just didn't respond to you until she said yes to me. A better offer came along.
It was most likely she just didn't know how to say no. Let's be honest.
Anyway, that's true. Shout out to... Never mind, I'm not going to throw her name. All right, so we kind of started hanging out in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started a band. I'm just giving people a little bit of backdrop because we've been friends for a long time.
Long time.
8th grade, we started, doing all sorts of... We really got serious with the band.
Started making movies then.
Yep. Making lots of videos, which we do professionally now.
Yeah. We became lifeguards.
We became lifeguards, that's right. Well, that was in high school.
Yeah.
So basically all I'm saying is that we go way back.
Yeah.
And we've known each other for a long time, been hanging out for just like a really long time. And the one thing that I've known about Danny is that he is an idea guy. You're an idea guy.
I am. I've come up with ideas. My mind is just always going. I think that's the ADD.
It could be, and it's also that like you don't filter out those ideas. Like a lot of people might have ideas and they just don't say them out loud, but you say them out loud, which is great.
Well, because I want to see what other people think of them.
It's fantastic.
Because how are you going to know if it's a good idea if you don't get some feedback?
That's right. You got to hear it. Sometimes you just got to hear yourself say it, and sometimes you got to bounce it off another person.
And you can't get offended if people don't like it. If sometimes they're not good ideas.
Many ideas that we have turned into videos or songs or anything that we've created have started because of your crazy brain.
Yeah, and some of them are stinkers.
Hey, you gotta have some stinkers in order to find the gold. Now,
got to break some wind if you want to make an omelet.
That's exactly what they say. Yep. Now, what I've brought as our past segment topic.
Oh, is this the book?
This is the book. Now, Danny, like I said, has always thrown out these crazy ideas, and at some point, I and the rest of our friends started writing them down in secret because we didn't want Danny to know that we were like writing these down because they were so off the wall and hilarious. We started writing down his crazy ideas and collecting them into this document. This was it started sometime in college. So by this time you had already thrown out so many crazy ideas that we were like, we got to start writing these down.
We lost too many of them to history.
They were just gone. So we started writing them down, and the goal eventually became, hey, let's get like 52 of these, and we'll make a calendar out of these ideas. We'll make a one a week,
and
then we'll make some sort of crazy calendar that we can sell.
Once a week calendar. Yeah.
We never actually did that, but we have a list of hilarious ideas that I want to just read a selection of.
All right, let's go for it.
Here's an idea. I want to sleep on a pillow full of magnets to see what it does to my brain.
Now, I'm still interested in that, actually. I'll be honest, because I think if your brain is full of electrical signals, as it is, there's got to be, like, sleeping on a pillow full of magnets has got to do something to your brain, right?
Yep, but I just love how you want to be the guinea pig in that. Like, you don't want to read about some research maybe they've done about electrical signals in the brain. You just want to do it and find out.
Well, because imagine, like, if it just really messes with your dreams and you have these wild, crazy dreams because you slept on... So, like, part of it was, like, I was thinking of, can you come up with some technology to make, like, pillow full of magnets soft, like feather magnets or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but, like, something to where you could lay on it and it'd be comfortable. Because you don't want to be uncomfortable the whole time.
No, of course not. I'm going to go ahead and just throw out now that many of these ideas revolve around you coming up with business ideas, which is hilarious.
Could I just sleep in an MRI machine? Would that do the same thing?
It might. I don't know. I feel like you could probably read about a lot of this, but I think you should go for it. Just try it and see what it does. Just do it for like 10 years and see if you're different.
I got to find out who has an MRI machine. I'm just going to...
Oh, I thought you were going to go with the pillow full.
Oh, I have no idea functionally how to make that happen. I need to meet somebody who knows how to do that.
Okay, another idea. Again, these are mostly, I think these are mostly in college because this is when we start writing them down. But just imagine this going back the whole time we've known each other. At some point you said, I want to get a Lucky Charms barcode tattooed on my arm and price check myself at the grocery store.
We almost did that for a Randomonium episode, actually.
We did.
But it was going to be, we switched it to double stuffed Oreos. And we stopped because I saw an Instagram post where somebody
did that.
Got a barcode of double stuffed Oreos on their arm.
Yep. Literally the same thing you wanted to do.
I'm not against it, but I've heard tattoo artists really hate it when people come in with barcodes.
I can see that being annoying.
Like they're artists, so they hate doing like
It's just straight lines. Just a bunch of straight lines.
People's dumb ideas for tattoos.
I think it would work though, which is hilarious.
I'm sure it would, because my dream was to roll up and be like having started to eat the food like in line and have destroyed the barcode inadvertently.
And they're like, "Sir, you can't eat that."
Like,
oh,
like,
don't worry,
don't worry,
I
I got it.
Beep beep beep.
No problem.
All right, here's another one. Now, I'm quoting on all these. I kind of wrote them down as you said them, which
That's
is
the best part. You didn't just write down the idea. You wrote it down as I said it.
It was like a kind of stream of consciousness. Okay. I quote, "Remember my idea where I'd have speakers and an antenna implanted in my head, and there would be people in a room somewhere watching my life on screens, and they would constantly be playing music into my head? It'd be like my life soundtrack."
Yeah. That is a great idea. Like, there's nothing bad about that idea. I mean, it's unaffordable. Like, you have to have so much money that you can pay a team of people just to watch you all the time.
Yeah, and find and queue up the perfect song for every moment.
Basically, your life is the Truman Show, but in your head, you get the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a great. I just love that. Like, you hear these again, and you're like, yeah, I was a genius back then. Even what's the news here?
That sounds cool. Like, none of these and I should say none of these were involved. Like, I didn't do a lot of drugs or anything in some of these ideas. It was just usually just late at night or something. Just
Wait, you said a lot of drugs. Did you do some drugs?
No drugs.
Okay.
No drugs were done.
Okay. Another idea. Quote, "I'm going to make a MapQuest.com." Okay, first of all, this was a long time ago when MapQuest was a thing.
Yeah, you know how old it is because we're talking about MapQuest.
"I'm going to make a MapQuest.com for water routes instead of roads."
I still think that's a great idea.
So how is that a great idea? Like, how many water routes are there?
I don't know how many there are, but I really do want to. When I lived in Chicago, I wanted to take a kayak trip from Chicago to St. Louis. I wanted to get a kayak and kayak from Chicago to St. Louis.
Okay.
And there is a water route way to do that, but I just had to manually figure it out by looking through maps. And I was like, man, how cool would it be? And this was way after I thought of that idea. I still think it'd be cool because I came up with that idea because we recorded down in Goshen, Mississippi.
That's right. It was somewhere. It was near.
It was near Biloxi.
Yeah.
And it was the guy's house that we were recording at was on a swamp that was connected to a tributary of the Mississippi. We're like, we could have taken a boat the whole way down here.
Yeah, it would have been crazy with all of our band equipment, but we did think about it.
I still think that'd be a fun website. It's a novelty website. It's not going to get used much.
Yeah, and if you live in Kansas, you're just not really going anywhere.
Maybe it would get used though. Maybe it would stir up this whole
reignite the economy, the water economy.
Well, just people wanting to do it, because people like doing outdoor things. So all of a sudden people are gonna be like, oh, I can go outdoor trips, outdoor water trips could become a thing.
I could get from here to here just by water.
Yeah, instead of backpacking, people become kayak travelers. It becomes a new hit thing because it's so easy to figure out how to get from Ohio to, Boise.
Yeah, that's true. I think you should do it.
I would love to do it. I don't know if
keep it on the list of things you're going to do someday.
I need to talk to some people.
Okay, got to talk to some people.
I'm going to oversee it.
There's so many good ones. We got to get through these. Okay, they're just amazing. They get better and better, I feel like. Quote, "There should be a law that says when you get sick, you have to be locked in an isolation room until you get better."
Stand by it.
A law.
Yeah. You get locked away. But I also think now the new me says we should take care of those people too. So
okay, so isolate them, but also give them good
but
meals.
You're going to be given meals and maybe some money because you got to take off work.
Right.
But yeah, imagine how quickly
we would eradicate
the common cold would just go away instantly. If as soon as you had it, there was some
lock them up.
Maybe you have nanomeds inside your body that know when you've got it.
Yeah.
Nanobots, and then they just alert the government and they're like, go to the room. And there's a room in your house that you have to go to.
The room. There's a room in everybody's house. Okay, I thought it was more like a prison. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. This one sounds like an idea I would have, this is one of my favorites. They should call pizza buffets all you can eatza.
That was my idea?
That was your idea.
That sounds like a Jon idea. They should call it that.
Okay, quote, dude.
Dude, so starts with dude.
I wrote these down as you said them. Quote, dude, I know how we can...
If this starts with dude, I know how we can make a bunch of money, doesn't it?
They all center around that somehow. But no, this one is, dude, I know how we can hit on that hot waitress. Well, take these receipts she just gave us, call her back over here and say, excuse me, there's something wrong with my bill. Your phone number isn't on it.
I've used that. I've used that line.
It's such a corny line.
I don't think I made that up though. I can't.
I don't think you made that up either.
But I used that at a bar once, and it didn't work.
There's something wrong with my bill. It's so bad. Quote, I want to hire some guy who's really good at playing Guitar Hero to do the music at my wedding reception.
That's not a bad idea.
But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. No,
it's already passed.
It just was an iPad.
Yep,
that was what played the music.
I just think that would be really. That is.
We were on a budget.
Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Quote: we should invent a board game where instead of players rolling 1 or 2 dice, they have to roll like 19 all at once, just so it would take forever to add up all the numbers.
So this idea was just to frustrate people.
I have no idea what that means. Here's another one. I'm gonna invent remote-controlled tape. The adhesive won't activate until you press a button, so you can slide it around until it's in the right spot.
Oh my goodness, that is a brilliant idea. If you could figure that out, imagine that. You could just like put your tape on something. It's not going to stick to your fingers. It's not going to get unsticky because you got your fingers on it.
It just feels like you're holding some paper or something.
You just laid it down in position and then you went beep.
Suddenly sticky.
Suddenly sticky.
My favorite part about reading these back is that you look back on your past self as a genius. You're like, that
He's
guy
ahead of his time.
Was brilliant.
Yeah, I just don't think the technology exists for a lot of my ideas is the problem.
That's true. That's true. Okay, you're way ahead of your time. Okay, so this one is amazing. I love the way I wrote this down. I'm so glad that I wrote it down like immediately after you said it because I quoted you exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, now stick with me through the whole thing.
Okay.
My house is going to have 2 washing machines. When a load of dishes is clean, you can just use them straight out of one washing machine and put them in the other one. When that one is full, you just repeat the process. Wait, did I say washing machines? I meant dishwashers. Not only is it a good idea, I kept in the way you said it wrong.
The way I said it wrong.
Oh.
That isn't a bad idea, though. As my wife and I are thinking about remodeling our kitchen, my wife has brought that up. She's like, we should do your dishwasher idea.
Yep.
I can't afford 2 dishwashers.
That's expensive, and that takes up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Okay, when I get a dog, I'm not just going to build it some crappy doghouse. I'm going to buy a tiny mattress like the ones that go in baby cribs and handcraft a headboard that matches my own. I bet I could start a good business doing that.
I'm sure you can start a good business doing that.
See, you were ahead of your time because Etsy wasn't a thing.
Etsy wasn't a thing.
You can
then.
kill it on Etsy with some dog beds that look like your real bed.
You just send me a picture of your bed, and I'm an amateur woodworker.
I feel like
much of the furniture in my house I've built.
You kind of Babe Ruthed your life a little bit. You called your shot.
I did. That's a good idea.
Here's another random one that makes no sense out of context. Let's go streaking through a basketball game. That was an idea you had.
Well, that was college. Like, I feel like that's not random when it's college. Like, everybody's seen a streaker.
Everybody's thinking about going streaking. Sure,
that's just a thing.
Okay, this one is also probably something I would have thought of. Sort of. We should go to a county fair and set up our own game called Whack-A-Mail. we'll just pop up through holes in the table and have people hit us with big mallets. Lots of people would pay to hit some random guys in the head. Again, it's a business idea.
I remember several of these end with lots of people would pay
to do X.
To do whatever it is.
Whack-A-Mail.
Whack-A-Mail.
I actually, no, I think you're ahead of your time on this one too, because like, I feel like you'd get a lot of like crazy ex-girlfriends who are like, you know what, I got to take out my anger on my boyfriend.
Dude, yeah.
I just need to punch a dude, so I'm gonna play Whack-A-Mail.
Well, I think it's gonna be one of the soft mallets.
It's a soft mallet, but like it's a good middle ground.
Yeah.
You can't really punch a dude. Another idea. It would be sweet if cars had laser targeting systems on them that would guide you towards stuff in the road that you wanted to run over, like cans or paper cups. See, you thought that one was going like to guide you away from things. But
you thought I was like the Elon Musk of my day for a second there, but it's really just everybody has that set.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody steers towards cans.
You see the cans and the paper
You're
cups.
Like, I'm going to get it on my tire.
And then you're like, you listen for it? Yeah.
Yeah. And you're happy when you get it.
You're so happy when you get that? Okay.
I feel like that could be like, maybe that's like if Elon Musk opens up an API for Teslas and like you can write apps for cars.
Yeah, I'm sure he would do that.
That would be one.
Run over cups and stuff. Yeah, that would never be taken the wrong way, into the wrong hands. All right, let's move on to another fantastic one that just always kills me. Quote, we could make a lot of money if we took footage of UFC fighters wrestling, edited out the ring and the fans and everything, and replaced all that with a more suggestive background, like a bedroom or a peaceful meadow with horses around them. So, okay, let's unpack this. It's a business idea where you take footage of wrestlers and just make it look like they're just, kind of having a...
I mean, like, I feel like that's just a YouTube video. That's not a business.
Yeah, that's
like,
fantastic.
But that's...
I don't know, man. Bad lip reading, it's kind of in that same genre of like... just
that's kind of in like the unnecessary censorship that Kimmel does.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
Yep, you were ahead of your time, man. All right. I don't even know where to start with this one, but I just had a sweet idea for training people to be awesome fighters. I guess you were on a fighter. This might have been at the same time.
UFC was huge in college.
That's true. So this might have been like this, like back to back, like 5 minutes later. You said, "I just had a sweet idea for training people to be awesome fighters. Lock them in a small room with the declawed bear." It's declawed, so it's not going to kill them, but man, they're going to learn how to fight.
They still have teeth. That's a horrible idea.
Oh, this is the first one where you're like, past Danny, that was not a good idea.
Maybe if it's got a muzzle.
Okay, it's a good idea
again.
That's another good YouTube channel, though.
Can you declaw a bear?
I don't know. I don't know about any of this stuff. Okay, this one is one of my all-time favorites. Quote, "I'm not just going to pick up my kids from school like all the other parents. I'm going to speed into the parking lot in a white unmarked van, throw open the sliding door, jump out and grab them while wearing a ski mask, and peel out really loud."
I feel like, could you get arrested for that?
I don't know. I don't think you could. You're just picking your kids up.
You're just picking your kid up and it's cold outside, so you wear a ski mask.
But it looks really suspicious.
What are you doing? Why are you arresting me, officer? That's my child.
That's my child.
It's a game we play.
Maybe for speeding. Maybe the speeding part.
Yeah, reckless driving I'd get a ticket for.
Okay, quote, "I want to make a video of a monkey riding an alligator like a horse. Nobody's ever seen that before." Again, you're ahead of your time because YouTube was not even a thought in anybody's mind.
It wasn't a thing
This
yet.
was like back in 2006 when you said this.
Yeah.
And I feel like that video's been made by now.
There's definitely a video somewhere of a monkey riding an alligator like a horse.
Okay, quote, 2 words. Bacon spaghetti.
Oh.
That might be a game changer.
So is it the spaghetti's made of bacon?
Or it's got bacon in it?
It's got bacon in it?
I don't know. Either way.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It's good.
It's going to be good.
Okay, quote. Again, I wrote this down as you said it.
Mm-hmm.
"Here's what we should do. We'll go to a hair salon and ask for a bunch of hair from off the floor. Then we'll get some food from the drive-thru at McDonald's, put the hair all over it, and take it back to McDonald's like, there's a hair in my food."
And it's covered in hair. I think that was less to get free food and more just to see what people's looks on their faces when you're like, why is there a pile of hair on my food?
Okay, quote. Quote, "Okay, I got it. We open what seems to be a normal restaurant, except that it has one difference. All of the windows are made of that sugar glass stuff they use for stunts in movies. We hire a stuntman to act like he gets in a huge fight in the restaurant and gets thrown through the glass, quote unquote, glass window. Seriously, wouldn't you want to go to a restaurant where a guy gets thrown through a window every day?"
That's a dinner and a show. I feel like that would do really well. Like, you're just like, it's like dinner theater, like you're a part of it. You don't know who's
what's
the
gonna
guy that's going to get in the fight.
Oh, he got thrown through the glass. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm into it.
Yeah. I don't really know why you said this, but I love it. "I want to moon a whole family as we pass them on the interstate. Dad, mom, son, daughter, and baby."
I mean, that's a crime. I feel like.
Yeah, you can't really show your naked
But
butt
when
to
you're a
kids.
young man, mooning is just a normal thing that you do.
It's kind of funny.
And it's funny, and you don't really know the consequences of it yet. This was before Me Too. So I wouldn't show I want it on record, I would not show my butt to anybody that doesn't want to see it. Except for John. But we have an arrangement.
Yeah, we have an arrangement. All right. This might be my favorite one of all time, and maybe we should end on this.
Okay.
I'll go through the rest of them and see, but I think this might be this might be my favorite one. Okay. It's a bit of a long one. You can imagine how it starts. Quote, "I want to start a business." "I want to start a business that sends out male strippers to random people who didn't order one. We'll start sending out strippers in cliche costumes like policemen. They'll knock on the door and say, 'Excuse me, do you drive a Chrysler LeBaron? I'm going to have to write you a ticket.' And then they'll start stripping. But then we'll get crazier and send out a stripper in like a game warden uniform. He'll bust down the door and say, 'I heard there was some illegal trapping going on here,' and start stripping."
How is that a business? Nobody ordered them. Like,
who ordered the stripping game warden?
Like, I get the idea of being like, hey, let's come up with this. Let's start a male stripping business where like all the costumes are really out of left field.
Okay, sorry, there's just so many. There are a few more. Quote, "Man, little kids have so much energy to ride their bikes and play all day. They're way more in shape than most adults. America should send kids to fight in wars.
I feel like it was just writing stand-up bits, like,
Yeah.
and like not writing it down. Just like I'm just coming up with one-liners for stand-up.
You're welcome. I wrote it all down for you. Here's
Yeah.
your stand-up bits. All right, last one. And again, it's just as you said it. I remember cracking up in my head and just writing it down
Is
right
it about
afterwards.
a business?
It's actually not about a business.
Okay.
Quote, if I'm ever really late for class, well, first of all, I'm going to start keeping a packet of fake blood on me at all times. So if I'm ever late for class, I'm going to burst into the classroom with blood all over me and claim I was in an accident.
I love that I paused in the middle of like, well, first of all, I'm gonna start carrying around blood packets with me.
I need to clarify that because it sets up this
I just
whole
need to be
idea.
prepared at all times to cover myself in blood.
That was literally about half of the ideas on the list. There's so many random ones.
That's incredible.
We stopped writing them down at some point, but I'm really sad that we stopped writing them down because
know.
they're so good.
They never stopped.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still do that.
You still do it. I feel like it's not even like that's not even like past Danny. That's just a slice of. I mean, that's just what you normally do.
Yeah, well, now I channel it a little bit more. Like, it's a little more directed.
Yeah, you usually write it down, and we make a video out
Here's
of
what
it.
I'm trying to, like, come up with a video idea.
Mm-hmm. Well,
my video ideas get shot down a lot, though.
Hey, you know what? You have a lot more video ideas that get, greenlit because you throw out a lot more ideas. I feel like the filter that most people have
Is themselves.
And
you gotta shut that down. You gotta just
you gotta create.
turn it off.
Yep, creation looks lots of different ways. It's not always what you might expect.
Well, because sometimes, like, that stupid thought that you just had in your head while it is, like, meaningless and you're not going to do anything with it, like, it'll, like, turn into something else useful.
Totally. And that's what a brainstorm really is. Like, you might throw something out that makes gives somebody else an idea, and that turns into something else. And
Yes, there's no bad ideas in brainstorming, and I'm just constantly brainstorming.
you're always brainstorming.
Always.
It's a big old storm up in that brain. It's like a hurricane in that brain.
Oh, yeah. It's category 5. Thanks for watching this clip from the Randomonium podcast. That was just one small clip from the entire episode.
Not unlike Neil Armstrong's one small step on the moon. I think this is right up there with that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can find it on all major podcast platforms.
The full episode. This was just a little clip, but there's a lot more to this whole episode. Search Randomonium Podcast on all major podcast platforms.
There's more?
There's more.